So Mickey, new Hellraiser Towers.
New office, new Hellraiser Blog. Let's do it.
Okay, first up, big Frank Warren card at the Copper Box. You were there. It was on BT Sport. It was an exciting evening, but a disappointing one for you.
Yeah, very disappointed. Obviously, we had Aarron Morgan, who's been built up on our Hellraiser shows from the start of his career. I genuinely thought he should have been a favourite for it. I thought he would outbox Joe Pigford in the first half of the fight, and I thought he'd probably stop him in the second half because Pigford will be forced to fight. It's only an 8-rounder. He'll be forced to sort of work outside of his comfort zone at a high pace, and he'll come apart. Unfortunately, it didn't go that way. He caught Aarron with a couple of very good shots, and fair play to him. He gritted his teeth when it was.
Yeah, I mean, Aarron wasn't without his success. I had him up on the cards. I know you did.
Yeah, I had Aarron a mile ahead, and the accuracy of his work was beautiful. It was such a good start that he made. If I was to be critical, I'd say maybe he burned more energy than I'd have liked to. He was moving, but if you're fighting a guy that punches that hard, of course you're going to want to move your head. You're not going to want to be stagnant and, to make it harder for Pigford to land his shots. But with hindsight of having seen the ending, because the second from last, I had Aarron winning the first 4. Then I gave Pigford the fifth.
Yeah.
And maybe it was because he was tired. Maybe the heat in the venue, weight making for the first time making championship.
He looked a little bit drained in the pictures to me, like bags under his eyes.
Yeah, he did look very sort of cut at the weight.
Yeah. It's a shame for him, but he's lost to obviously someone who's now got a brilliant record. Will probably go on and batter a few other people, and it won't look quite so bad a loss in the future. And also, without wanting to write off his boxing career, he seems like a well-spoken guy. He writes well. Aarron Morgan, this is not Joe Pigford.
Yeah. No, I think Aaron's stock possibly actually rose through because he had the exposure of BT. I think I've just had Daryl Williams box for the super middleweight title a couple of weeks ago in Leicester on a BT show, and then we've done this one, and the power, if you like, and the advantages of boxing on BT shows is the audience is absolutely huge. And how do I know that? Because when Daryl boxed the other week, my Twitter feed, I was scrolling because my name was mentioned in some of the tweets that his name was mentioned in. And I was just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And every time I get a notification that the iPad beeps, it was like bing, 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 bing.
Yeah.
So
Daryl said it was quite hard to sleep with your iPad.
Yeah, it was. No, I mean, it was amazing. I mean, it was like nothing I've ever come across before. So it's told me one thing, right? We made a good move siding up with Frank Warren and George Warren.
So you talked about that move. You've got a show in a couple of days' time. Who do you think from that show on Saturday? Who are you looking that you think might be maybe not necessarily immediately, but
well, the top of the bill, we've got Phil Bowes, who's going to be boxing. He's boxed on a few Hellraiser shows and came from Limehouse Marina Elite Ad Gym in Limehouse, and he's got a very, very hard fight with Glenn Foote.
Who lost to Sam Eggington. Yeah,
and as we did with Ben Jones for the Commonwealth, when we're up against it and we're not going to get it on a big money show, we try and get our guys home advantage. Right, well, I won the purse bids. Phil's going to box in Bethnal Green in front of his supporters, and I'm just hoping that he can get it right. I think maybe the 2 defeats that he had, I think those fights were maybe a little bit too soon in his career. They're too early for him. He's had a little run of wins now, and he goes back in. And Glenn Foote is one of the better. I mean, he is for me. I was working with Frank Maloney when he first turned pro. And he was one of the ones that my journeyman went nowhere near. We just avoid him. He's a huge puncher, very strong. And I think Phil's really got his work cut out. But if he's got a chance of winning it anywhere, it's at York Hall on a Hellraiser show in front of all of his people. He's sold droves of tickets. And we're going to see the best Phil Bowes he's had.
Well, it'll be an exciting fight anyway. So who else have you got on the bill that you think?
We've got Galasius Taru, who's having his 3rd pro fight. He's knocked out the first 2, and I just got a feeling about him.
Both with brilliant short rights.
Yeah, and I think...
Or was it a short left, the first one? I can't remember.
No, it was a short right, the first on a Mayfair Sporting Club show, and we'll see Glacius out again. He's got a very durable, very, very durable, like an ex-Olympian, so he's going to have a much harder fight. He's had in his first two, but he looks to me like he could possibly go and do something down the line. You know, he looks very good. In fact, I mean, we've got about, I think it's 22 fights on the card.
Yeah, they're never really a short card. At your call, if your name's on the bill.
And well, it's a good thing. Look,
yeah,
if more
no.
guys are contacting us to want to box on our shows, there's got to be a reason for that. You know, the way that we're doing the deals with them is obviously working, and I'm really looking forward to that. We've got some. I mean, it's not just, there's a whole new generation now of guys that are signing up that are coming through. That
what other names would you throw out there for people to look for?
Oh, we're going to start with Conrad Stemkowski, who
you fought 2 weeks ago on a
box on the Mayfair Sporting Club show.
That was the most exciting fight of the evening, actually.
Yeah, he had a really good fight,
yeah.
And a very nice guy from Reading. Didn't know what to expect at the start because he didn't have much amateur pedigree, but he's settled really well with his trainer Craig Piner in Reading. And let's see, look, he's 4-0. He started off, he was like one of the ones that probably normally would become a journeyman very quick because his attitude was just, I'll fight anyone.
Yeah.
But he's managed to string together 4 wins. He's boxing Saturday, hopefully he wins again there. He's got a tough one in Kevin McCauley.
He's very, very tricky and vastly experienced. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's where you find out, right? Either the guy's got it in him or not. So that's what we're going to do. If he comes through sailing, you know, all well, then we'll get him out on probably another dinner show, then another Hellraiser, and by then he'll be ready, I would imagine, for a Southern Area title show.
And that's another Channel 4 one, so that's good exposure as well.
Yeah, he'll be on Channel 4. Yeah, it works very well for the guys. You know, I mean, they get the following. You know, we always on social media, Facebook, Twitter, we get a load of messages asking about the fighters and for their sponsorship. It works very well. So very happy to be working with Channel 4 again.
Excellent.
And yeah, Phil Bowes, Glenn Foote, great top of the bill. Looking forward to that.
That'd be good. Moving further afield, from up and comers to some aging people that you were very near one of them because you saw coke being thrown on him the weekend.
Floyd Mayweather, yeah. Fortunately landed on him.
Without wanting to go into the clickbaitness of it, because I realise it is very, very certainly the Mayweather fiasco with whatever he's called, McGregor. Pacquiao, I mean, to frame it within a boxing thing, Pacquiao is fighting Jeff Horn, who is 16-0-1.
Okay, Pacquiao and Jeff Horn, I favour Pacquiao strongly, but it's a fight that I would sort of respect as a fan. I think, okay, one's far better proven than the other one. I mean, one, you go through his record, it's you don't really know what you're getting. Pacquiao, we know we're getting an ageing guy that was very, very good. It's probably still pretty decent, and I favour Pacquiao. And Pacquiao, I think, probably is going to go and cash in on his.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a world tour almost, isn't he? He's going to Australia. He'll probably go to Dubai and then come to Europe or something and finish in England.
Pacquiao boxes in London. He can fill the O2. There's only one Filipino that can fill the O2, but it's him. He can go there. He can go to Paris and he can fill, wherever room all he wants to go and box in there.
But so you compare that to Mayweather versus.
I don't begrudge Pacquiao doing that because I've heard he's had some financial issues and fair play, cash in. He's been a standout.
And he's still. I mean, when Muhammad Ali fought wrestlers and fought, people like that, it wasn't billed as a fight. What grinds with me is the Mayweather McGregor is being billed as a fight, and it's not going to be a fight. No one in boxing.
This is how I would look at it. Ricky Hatton, probably the best fighter of our generation at cutting down the ring and nailing opponents to the corner post and trapping them, could not catch up with Floyd Mayweather.
That was 8 years ago, but
okay, but he couldn't get close to him. Yeah, it was.
I'm just throwing at you what the people will be saying about Mayweather.
Well, let them say it. Conor McGregor, for me, and I've heard actual boxers saying, "Oh, well, he's a good boxer." No, he's not. He's absolutely not. And anyone that says he is does not really understand that much about boxing. He's a very raw, novice-y type boxer, and he's got absolutely zero chance of beating even an aged Floyd Mayweather, and Mayweather knows that 100%, and that's why he's signing, because he knows he can sell it as if he was fighting Pacquiao again, but from a technical point of view, he's fighting Conor McGregor, who's slow on his feet, throws arcing punches.
I mean, UFC laughed when James Toney went over to fight in UFC, and I think boxing should be laughing.
Yeah. The thing is, James Toney was a very good boxer, but what experience has he got of judo and ground wrestling or nothing? So what would make him think that he could compete at a high level with guys that have been doing that all their life? Okay, so my prediction for that is Mayweather probably boxing fairly safely, as he always seems to do, and McGregor not getting anywhere near him throughout.
Okay, and so going from what will be I assume the Australian fight is going to be a big ticket event with lots of people there. Mayweather will sell loads of tickets. That will fill out somewhere in Las Vegas. We've seen what happened in Paris at the football a couple of years ago, and we've seen last night what happened in Manchester, which was tragic.
What
obviously,
happened in Manchester is a worry, because as an organiser of sports events,
that was going to be my question to you. Obviously that's tragic, and that's obviously you feel for everybody involved and beyond.
Yeah, but that's
as
a worry.
A sports event,
as a promoter, that's a worry, because now we're talking about people coming into venues. I mean, and this was outside the venue.
Yes,
this concert was outside, and that's why it's worrying to me, because we can put security on all the doors, we can put metal detectors, we can search people.
Which you do already,
go through bags, which we do already. We had a stabbing at York Hall, not at a pro boxing, it was at an unlicensed event. Someone was stabbed to death. It was a night before a Hellraiser show. We had to cancel our show at the last day at huge cost to myself. And since then, we've had searches, everyone gets searched, no metal, no knives, nothing like that can come in.
But people exiting the show.
This is outside. How do you police that? You can't. I mean, it's impossible. And couldn't police it for my shows at York Hall. But what are you going to do at the O2 Arena, where they're streaming out for miles?
Yeah.
It's horrendous, and I don't actually think that there is a solution to it. In a crowd of hundreds of tens of thousands of people, how do you pick out one person that might have? I mean, it's just impossible.
Not outside.
Have it stuck up their anorak or something. There's no chance. And that is it's a worry. I think a worry for society generally. But from my point of view, for boxing point of view, I think we're all worried now, because it's a vulnerability to everyone that's trying to organise an event. Now has to think of, it's hard enough with the possibilities of don't want to mix this lot with this.
With all the fans from different.
One individual. One lone wolf can come in with a grenade up his jacket, and
Yeah. Well, not wanting to end on a downer. Predictions for the fights, for the main fight this weekend.
Kell Brook?
No. Your one. Philip Bowes.
Phil Bowes on points.
Great.
I'll go with Phil Bowes. I mean, that's my heart speaking probably more than my head, but. Phil can do it. He certainly if I thought it's a no chance, my advice to Phil would be go up to Sunderland and fight Glenn Foote and get as much money as you can for doing it. Because I think he's got a chance, and this is what we did exactly the same with Ben Jones the other week. Look, you have got a chance of beating him. Ben Jones came within a whisker of becoming Commonwealth champion. He lost by 1 point. Very unlucky. And to Phil, we're saying, that we all love Phil. He's in the gym, Phil Bowes. Give it your all. We're all behind you. Do it for yourself. Do it for all your friends in Bethnal Green in East London. Do it for Hellraiser, and hopefully comes away with a win.
Excellent.
Good luck, Philip. Do the business, son.
Cheers, Mickey.